testimonials make the sale easier, right? So if you're doing your intro in a set room, you should have testimonials on the wall, or you can send them via text, preferably, or email, some testimonials of clients before they get in the gym and get to you, right? Because if they see testimonials, they see people that look like them, people that started off just like them. That is going to make it even easier.
You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merritt.
Here we go. Another episode of Gym Marketing Made Simple. And I'm flying solo again. It's me, Sherman. So I'll be your host today. I'll be talking the entire time. But I'm excited. Today we're going to talk about something that I'm very passionate about. And we're going to jump right into it. Today we're going to be talking about the sales process, but specifically, we're going to talk about objection handling, right? Because I think that one of the biggest hurdles in sales is objection handling, right? But here's the thing. Objections, they're not always about, price. They can be about fear, indecision, lack of trust, right? But I'm going to show you how you can sort of stop viewing these objections as negative and really turn them around and see them as opportunities to clarify and address any concerns that this potential client may have, right? So instead of you basically focusing on trying to overcome the objection, you will and like change their mind, you'll focus on finding common ground and figuring out the solution to their problem so you can really talk about that, right? Because I think one of the best things that you can do is proactively handle objections, right? And let me explain what I mean by that, right? Let me explain what I mean. You want to basically, when you're talking to them about, the gym and their goals and stuff like that, you want to figure out ways to sort of, you know, sprinkle in common concerns, right, that you hear often. And what I mean by that, let's take an example, like their schedule, right? If you know a lot of people talk about their schedule, if you've listened to them talk and say, hey, I haven't worked out in, X amount of years because my schedule is so busy, this and that. Well, one of the first things that I would do when we were going back and forth before I present the price and all of that stuff, I would say, hey, Mary, tell me about this. I need you in here 3 days per week, minimum, Mary. So let's look at your schedule right now. When can you get in the gym 3 days every single week for an hour, right? Like what 3 days? So Mary and we will sit down, look at the times that she has available and match them up with the class offerings and class times that we have. So that way, before we get to the price, because the price is the big one, right? And when I say price is the big one, it's a big one that sort of comes at the end, because once you show someone the price, it's pretty much over, right? Like it's pretty much over because they can just say yes or no. But we'll dive into that later. But if you can deal with some of these objections early, right? Some of these common ones that you hear, like schedule. Hey, do you think you can make it 3 times a week? Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, good. I was just asking you that, Mary, because I want to make sure that you understand what's expected. I want to make sure that your schedule allows for you to make it to class 3 times a week, right? So you just want to make sure that you're dealing with some of this stuff before the end, right? Because you don't want to wait till the end to deal with everything, because then it's just sort of a, sort of a karate fight, just back and forth. You try to hit me, they try to block it, blah, 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 that type of thing right there. So I believe that it is important that you deal with the objections early if you can. And you can if you have a well thought out sort of process that you do every single time. And guys, that's really how you get great at objection handling, is by handling objections more and more and more often, right? Objections, again, when someone tells you no or someone gives you an objection, it's not necessarily no, I'm not joining. They're just telling you, hey, this is what I'm thinking right now. I'm not sure this is right. Then you need to talk about how you can help them get past that objection, right? Whether it's schedule, budget, their, the type of shape they're in before they're starting. You need to really talk about that. But I want to give you guys a few practical tips, right, that'll help you deal with objections a little bit better. I think one of the most underrated tools out there is, one, role playing objection responses, right? You need to role play with, fake clients, real clients, right? Here's the thing that I see a lot of times. If you do it with fellow coaches and stuff like that, people feel, they feel a little awkward, so they don't take it as serious. But guys, if you take it serious and you guys start writing down some of the objections, and what I like to do, I like, if I'm training two people, a group of people, I'll say, hey, Sue, I want you to tell me if you're going to be sold or not, right? They'll just tell me. They're not going to tell the person that's trying to sell them. And Sue may say, yes, I'll be sold, but they're going to have to really work for it. Okay, perfect. And then we say, okay, let's role play this out. And a lot of times we get to see how people really react when these different situations come up. So one of the best things that you can do is role play, but take it seriously, guys. This allows you to refine your approach, right? It allows you to deal with some of the common objections. Like, for instance, I may sit down with a team and say, we're only dealing with price objections, right? And we're gonna deal with that the entire time, and we're gonna come up with different responses, how we're gonna talk about the price, how we're still going to get them to close, so that they can join the gym and change their life, right? So one, role playing, right? Two, make sure that when you hear or you start hearing an objection that's sort of new, write it down, right? And share it with your team so that you guys can practice on it together, right? Because after a while, after you've done so many intros, there's not going to be really anything new under the sun. You've pretty much heard everything, right? You've pretty much heard everything. So if you can record these objections, share them with the team, you guys can talk about them. That is going to help take your sales and your closing and your objection handling to the next level. I know at my gym, we used to have sort of sales meetings where we would talk about how our intros went the week prior. Oh, why didn't they sign up? Oh, they signed up. Was it very smooth, or were they already ready to be closed? Because a lot of times what will happen is, for instance, especially in our industry, a lot of people, they're only used to organic traffic. So most gyms, they'll come to us and be like, oh, yes, I am great at sales. I'm the Jeremy Minor of the CrossFit industry. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. It's a sales guy. But yeah, I'm good. And we'll say, oh, okay. Have you run ads? No. But anyone that comes in, like, I'm closing 90% of them. Okay. Now, guys, here's the thing. That is great. But for the most part, organic leads are very, very warm leads, right? Very warm. They're hot. Right? A lot of times your members have already done all the work, or the potential client has already done all the work, and they're just following protocol now. So unless you really scare them off, they are going to join. But what happens when you run paid marketing, these people, some of them don't know you. They don't trust you. They just heard about you 2 or 3 days ago. Now, when they come in, they still don't honestly totally know a lot about your gym. So when you sit down and talk to them, if you're only talking about, the gym, the community, but this person wants to lose 15 pounds, but you don't talk about that, that's not going to be good, right? they're gonna leave and say, okay, let me think about it. Like, yeah, that's good. I appreciate the info. I'll go home and talk to my spouse, look at my budget, and I'll get back to you. And we know, the likelihood of signing someone up once they leave goes down very much so. So we want to try to get them signed up on the spot. So let me get back to the regularly scheduled programming, guys. So like I told you, the first thing is some of the practical tips. The first thing you do is role play, right? Role play objection handling. Take it very seriously. 2, write down new objections or stuff like that. Write it down and share it with the team. And then 3, I think this is also very powerful. Get with all of your sales staff, right? Everyone that does intros, and you guys sort of have brainstorming sessions. Now, you only need to do these every 2 or 3 months, right? That way, everyone sort of gets to improve on their strategy. You definitely, when you have everyone together, you want to role play a little bit. You want to talk about what's worked, what hasn't worked, because again, guys, at the end of the day, we're trying to change lives, right? And we don't want the sales process to be lackluster so that these people go join these big box gyms where they're not going to get in great of a shape, right? Because they're trying to figure it out on their own and stuff like that. We want them in our gym where we're controlling everything. We're helping them with their fitness, their nutrition, and all of that stuff. So here are the 3 practical steps that you can really dive into to help with your objection handling. 1, role play. 2, record new objections and share them with the team, right? 3, hold brainstorming sessions about every 2 to 3 months with the entire team, right? Because if you really prepare and confidently address objections up front, you can streamline the sales process, guys, and increase your chances of closing the deal, right? Tremendously. This is, getting people to just, again, come in and sign up that may not necessarily know you. It takes a little more work, right? So you have to be a little more polished. One thing that we figured out here at Lasso, we work with a couple of franchises in the past, working with a franchise now. These franchises, guys, they take the sales process very seriously, right? Very seriously. They're training their people. They're helping them with the basics, right? And a lot of times, I know I'm guilty of it. Early on in my gym ownership career, it was just like, hey, I'm going to let this person do sales because they're nice. They want to help me. I need help. Hey, try to sign this person up. Talk to them about the gym. But as we evolve as an industry, that's just not going to cut it anymore. That's not going to be good, right? Here's another thing, guys. You need to have a dedicated spot, right, where you're doing your intros. But in addition to that, you guys understand that nothing draws a crowd like a crowd, right? Like, I love that saying. I always say it. And what I mean by that is testimonials make the sale easier, right? So if you're doing your intro in a set room, you should have testimonials on the wall, or you can send them via text, preferably, or email, some testimonials of clients before they get in the gym and get to you, right? Because if they see testimonials, they see people that look like them, people that started off just like them, that is going to make it even easier, right? It's going to make it even easier because they've already seen that, like, these people have already helped people similar to me, right? I'm going to give you guys a few more things that I think will help you with the testimonials piece. One thing you can do, you can create a dedicated testimonial page to share before your consultations, right? Like, this could be included in the confirmation email, right? Or you can just direct them to a link where they can view the testimonials, like right before they come in for the consultation, right? I had that. It's just a basic one page. It doesn't even have to be live on your website, but you want to have it somewhere so that these people can see testimonials before they come in. I used to send mine out the morning of. The auto text will go out. Hey, Sherman, excited to see you, buddy. The appointment's at 1 p.m. at Dynasty. Check out these testimonials. Excited to talk to you. And you shoot them that text. They're thankful for the reminder. because they've already confirmed the night before, and then they're seeing some testimonials, right? That's one thing you can do. So you can create a dedicated testimonial page. 2, you can keep a testimonial binder sort of in the sales area, right? In the area they will wait, or inside the room where you do it. Just have it right on the table, have it open so that they can see that, right? They're looking around. I used to have the book, the binder, I would have it open to a set page. And then when I get up and walk out of the room, I would say, 8 times out of 10, when I come back in, I see them looking through the book, right? They're scrolling through the book because they just want to see, right? So you can have a dedicated testimonial page, which I think is great. You definitely should do that. You can keep a testimonial book in the office where you're doing your intros. And here's another good one. If the client doesn't sign up, right, follow-up emails and texts, they should definitely have testimonials in there. Preferably like a video when they first leave, right? Now, there's a couple ways you can do this video. It could be a video that you just had, professionally made of a client that crushed it. Yeah, that's what I would say do. And again, I want to be clear. It doesn't have to be a professional video. I know a lot of people like that. But if you just have a client recorded on your iPhone, right, where you got a little 1-minute video, you can send them that as well. Because again, nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. So you want to show them other folks have been here. We understand how to help you. We want to see you succeed. So these testimonials are very, very important, and they shouldn't be overlooked, guys. I know it's a little hard. Clients are busy, but asking for testimonials is really important, right? Really important. Now, I want to give you guys, I've been in this industry for a long time, helped a lot of people. I want to give you guys some common objections that you need to be prepared for, because you're going to hear them, right? I'm going to give you a few. So 1, I need to ask my spouse, right? We've all heard this. If you've done any type of intros, I need to ask my spouse, right? Always make sure, right, you ask beforehand if anyone or anything can stop them from signing up today, right? So before I pull out my price sheet and show them, I'm going to say, hey, Mary, tell me this. I think I know exactly what program is going to be best for you. But Mary, is there anything that can stop you from signing up today? And if Mary says no, I'm going to say, great. I just don't want you to tell me you need to go home and talk to your spouse, or you need to think about it. So that's the reason I'm asking. And some people say, okay, no, I'm ready. Or they say, well, I'm definitely going to have to talk to my spouse, And when that happens, a lot of times for me, I'll say, hey, no problem. Let's go over this. I'm going to tell you the best program I think for you. And then I'm going to step outside of the room so you can call your spouse. And then you're going to get 1 or 2 answers. Oh, I can't get in contact with my spouse, which we know 9 times out of 10, that's not true. Or they're going to say, okay, right, okay, yeah, that'll be good. And when you do that, a lot of times you can get an answer because they really do want to do it. A lot of couples have, thresholds and stuff that they can spend without even talking to the other spouse. So I need to ask my spouse is a common one. I need to think about it. Now, this is a tough one, right? This is a very tough one because you need to make sure that you're building enough value where it's a no-brainer, right? Where it's a no-brainer. That's why in that 20 to 30 minute consult, you really have to be talking about how you're going to solve their problem, right? You have to get them to see there's nothing to think about. This is the way, this is what I need to be doing. So I need to think about it. That's a tough one. I need to ask my spouse, right? Here's a big one. I want to start next week, next month, stuff like that. Now, here's one that I've done a lot of times. It doesn't work every time. But if someone came to me, let's say it is a Monday, and they're like, well, yes, I want to get started. I get paid Friday, so I can start following Monday. So this is what I do. I will get all of their payment info, get it on file and let them know hey, you're going to be charged you get paid on Friday. We're going to charge you on Saturday. And you're going to be good to go on Monday. Right. And that is a risk because they still haven't technically signed up, because it's happened to everyone. They'll leave Thursday night. You're going to get a text. Hey, I was thinking about it. I just can't do it. Please don't charge me. Bam. Right. Or someone will be like, hey, like today's Wednesday. Yes, I want to get going. I'm going out of town this weekend, but I can start Monday. It's Wednesday, I know. Then what I would do, I would say, hey, that's no problem. What we're going to do today, Mary, we're going to get you all locked in. We're going to get you signed up. We're going to charge you today. You're not going to lose any time. I just want to make sure I can hold your spot. So we charge you today, and then we know that you're in for Monday because I have to charge you to hold my trainer's time, right? And if they say yes, perfect, you got it. If they say, well, I don't know, well, we sort of know where this is headed. We'll still follow up with them and sort of deal with it from there. But guys, there's ways to sort of get past all of these objections, right? I could go down the list for hours and hours, but you need to be prepared. And you need to, if you run across something that you haven't heard and you weren't prepared, that's fine. Now you need to make sure that it never happens again, that you're prepared the next time that it pops up, and your team, right? Because if one person on the team is prepared for it, that means that everyone on the team should be prepared for it. Because as you guys are getting together in your brainstorming sessions and stuff like that, you guys will be brainstorming this. You'll be coming up with ideas like, oh, Susie heard that last week. I've never heard it, but I'm prepared. And then lo and behold, what happens a lot of times? The exact same thing will happen to you the week before, and now you're prepared. You're much more comfortable. The intro just goes much smoother, right? When you're prepared. You don't want these intros to where it feels like you're scrambling, you're caught off guard, you don't know, because that really puts off the vibe that you're not totally confident, even though you may be. But when you're not really prepared to answer every single question quickly and confidently, that makes it seem like, oh, this person is like, they're not very prepared. They don't even know the answer to this. So you want to make sure, again, practicing these intros is very important, guys. Right? I can't overemphasize this enough. That's the reason here at Lasso, we do, sales calls monthly. We get office hours weekly. We're trying to help our clients close these sales, and in turn, they help more people, right? It's not just about closing sales, guys. It's about helping people, right? But if you can't close sales, you can't help people, right? Again, I tell people all the time, man, when these people join our gyms, we know that if they buy into what we're doing and really do what we tell them, we are going to change their lives, right? And we know it. So this is the reason we owe it to our sales. We owe it to our future members, potential members that walk in through the door, to become great at sales, because when we do, we're going to have a bigger impact on the world, on our community, because we're going to be helping people live healthier, happier lives. All right, guys. So I know I gave you a lot of info in this one, but there's a lot of practical steps. And if you guys are serious, make sure you do these steps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is sherman@lassoframework.com, or you can find me on social media. Not very hard to find, guys. But that's it, guys. As usual, tell a friend to tune in, and we'll chat with you guys next week. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoyed. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com, and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.